Hello everybody, welcome back to the shop. Okay guys, I have got in the rest of the parts for my cowling. The cowl flaps, okay, and I needed a bunch of these strip horns, and on eBay, I looked all around and no one had them all. I had to order them from 2 or 3 different places. Same thing with these ball links. Everyone had 2 or 3. Okay, this is my baffle. I got both sides glassed, and I've been kind of studying on this. On where to place it, and I think I've got it pretty close. It's close to it. It's not in the center because of the offset of the engine, but I put the cowl on there 2 or 3 times. I got some cardboard, or some stuff from the dollar store. I just hate to get it in the wrong place and run this piece of wood. So maybe I can make me a template. My fear is this template won't sit very flat in the cowl while I try and fit it. But let's try it. I don't want to ruin that piece of wood. It's my thing. I also got in, I don't know if I told you guys this, I got in my switches, but my flat knob broke, and it was fine at the house, but it's got these extenders on there, and I zipped it up, but the flap hits the top of that switch. And when I got to the flying field, this was broke. So I had to move my flaps to the slider and order me some switches. So I got to take that transmitter apart. Also, I told you guys when I got that Corsair back, I put that FR Sky receiver in it. And then it's got them SKS 777 servos. Well, when I turn the radio on and move the sticks, the servos just kind of go nuts. And I talked with Jose, and he told me to check the wires around the antenna. And I did that, and they're nothing close. And the ailerons seem to do it worse than anything else. And they got the longer extension cords on them. And it had like your standard JR heavy duty extension cords. So I ordered some of them 20 AUG super heavy duty wires, and they seemed to help a little bit, but they still did it. They didn't do it at all. And I was running the batteries for a little bit, You know, it wasn't halfway drained, but you know, it had a little bit of time on the batteries, and called my buddy and told him, said, man, I think that fixed it. And he goes, are your batteries charged? I said, no. He said, charge your batteries. And I charged my batteries, and sure enough, it still did it. So, I just, for now, put my 12X back in it. Then I was talking to my other buddy at the flying field last night. That's where I think it goes, right there. And he's a whiz with them FR Skies. And he told me, you know, and Jonathan or Jose, you know, told me to check and see if because they think what's doing it is the 900 megahertz side. So he told me to check and make sure it was on 25 watts. And I did, and sure enough, it was on 25 watts. I talked to Jonathan last night. He says, oh, you gotta go in there and turn it down. And he showed me how to do it on the radio. He says, watch this. And he took his plane and he turned it off, the 25 megahertz, and turned it off, and they just made a noise. You couldn't really see them jiggling, but they started making a loud noise. And then he turned it back on, and it quit. But he don't know if it will stop the big jiggling. Because even though when you go into that page where you bind everything, and it says 25 megahertz, you still have to go in there and turn that on and off. He says he's brought that up to the factory, and, you know, they just never done nothing about it. Because he's actually a sponsored pilot. And oh, wow. Man, for such a piece of styrofoam, that sure made a loud noise. So, that's one thing I can check, but that's going to be like an all-day job, man. I'm going to flip that upside down and switch receivers again and put the wing back on it. Put the wings back on it. That's going to be like an all-day job. And I am busier than one man in a ass-kicking contest at the moment. There's got to be an easier way. I don't need this super neat. I just need to know if they're in the right spot. Man, I get around these areas. Then I'll take this and tack glue it in my cowl and go over there and hang it on the plane. because I don't want to have to scrap my nice piece of wood that I got all glassed. Because this has to be glued in before I start the cowl project, because it won't go in afterwards. So I gotta get this done first. And then we're gonna make some cowl flaps, guys, and I'm gonna show you guys how to do it. You know, there's a lot of videos on YouTube of showing the finished product, but the way I want to do it, there's just the finished product out there. Not how to do it, but I kind of reverse engineered it in my head. That's what I do, guys, when I look at something that I want to make. I look at it and I kind of study it and then kind of take it apart in my head, you know. And see a couple things. I'm going to do a couple things different than the way he did it. Not saying his way was wrong. I just seen a couple things I wanted to change to bam. That should be my baffle. Now, if I can get this tack glued in here in the right spot, that's kind of my feeder. Or did I just waste my time? It's just gonna be too damn flimsy. That ain't looking good, guys. Yeah, maybe. Maybe. Let's give it a try. Let's see, make sure I get this on the right side. Yeah. Man, my brother's been on me about going flathead fishing. I might have to get out one of these evenings and go meet up with him down at the river. Old Dad was a big time flathead fisherman, man. Depending on what time of year it was, he knew where they was. Okay. This might not be pretty, but I'm just looking for a ballpark. You know, I ain't worried about going in there and sanding just a little bit. I'm worried about, yeah. I can tell you right now, it's going to be off a little bit. I think I got the Alright, I got some adjusting to do. I got a little adjusting to do. I don't think I got this in the right orientation. And I'm going to need to figure out the right one. Alright guys, I'll be back when I get this figured out. Bam.